Spider's Web, and in this video we're going to be painting Talon, the human ranger. So there's her card. I should have done this for Leros, but I didn't. So that's the character and the model. So let's put this border to one side and let's get on with painting the miniature itself. Okay, so what I want is a dark green. First of all, that one will do. For flesh, I think we'll go with that one for the time being. Let's have that colour, that colour, that colour. I'll put those back to one side for a moment. Not sure if I will need them. I may need that one, don't know yet. So I'm just going to pop all the ones I don't know whether I'll need back. And we'll concentrate on the ones we are going to use, or we're definitely going to use. Okay, so for the skin, first off, we're going to use Rakarth flesh. For the cape, Caliban green. And highlighted with a bit of Warboss green, I think a little later on. For other areas of her attire, we're going to use Castellan green, which in turn will be highlighted, not with that one, or that one, with Lauren Forest. I think it's that one. Or it may be, no, Elysian green we'll use as well, somewhere along the line. We might use a little bit of Deathworld Forest and Dryad bark. We'll see how we go, but they're the ones I'm planning on using, not necessarily the ones that I will be using all of. So let's get on with it, shall we? Start off with flesh as usual. Rakarth flesh is the one I've chosen, so let's get some of that on our palette. There we are. The brush is a bit stiff. I think I must have put some of the thingy on it. The Master's brush cleaner. So let's get myself organised here, and then we can make a start. Okay, so using our one of our fine brushes, our number 0 Rosemary Coal brush, which I've just noticed is losing a bit of the coating over the handle. I think that's because I've not dried it properly. Oh dear, naughty naughty. You should always dry your brushes. Okay, so we want to add some of this to here. Don't forget her ear. And making sure that her entire face is covered. I'm not even bothered about going over her at the moment, because that will be sorted out later on. Trying to work out if she's wearing gloves and long sleeves. She is wearing Looking at the picture, she's wearing short sleeves and gloves, but I can't see where the... I can now. There we are. So it's just part way up the elbow. There is a little recess, or there is a little lumpy bit around it which shows the line of where her top goes, and the same on this arm as well. As you can just about see, I hope, there. And then it goes straight down to the glove. Yep. All we need to do is make sure every bit of the where we're painting is covered at the moment. We don't really need to think any more about it. That will do. Next, we're going to put some of the Caliban green on our palette. This is the darker green. This is going to be the one that's used for the outside of a cloak. There we are. I'm going to use a slightly bigger brush for this. The number 1, I think. Oh, sorry, number 2 rosemary coal brush. So we go into the paint with the brush. That's that. Next, oh, just dropped my brush. Where's it gone? Okay. Next up is the. Let's do her top, shall we? And for that, I think actually I'll bring in another colour because I don't particularly want it all being what's the word I'm looking for, greens. Let's bring in a brown colour. Ooh, what can we use? What can we use? What can we use? It's what we use quite often. Ballow Brown, just for distinction, I think. Oh, I think this is the one that's a little bit iffy. I think this is the one that's quite watery anyway, but we'll get it on there. There we are. And we'll go back to using our smaller brush. And we'll go over all these areas. I want them quite bright, these, not necessarily cartoony. I don't want them looking all muggy colours. I think I've used a slightly wrong colour for this, because it's not, I'll say, very strong. Pigment in it. It's quite watery anyway, and it's not covering as I like, but we can always come back to it and add more. If we put too much on and hide detail, it's a devil then to get off. Right, next, trousers. And for this we're going to use Death World Forest. There we go. And again, small brush, or smallish brush. I might get some more with these brushes, they are nice brushes. I just really wish I'd taken a bit more care not to get the handles that wet that it starts breaking off. Oh well. You live and learn. Remember? Okay, so that's that done. So there's not much on these minis really to paint, it's just getting the paint on, and they look better once they've had a coat of paint, but I do like it being that little more, what's the word I'm looking for, a little more highlighted. Okay, so for the inside of the cape I have decided I want something a little different. I don't want any of the colours that we've got on here. That's the thing with doing stuff like this, you can change your mind as time goes on. And the one I've just chosen to use is Talon sand. So this is going to be for the lining of the cape. There we are. Now pop, clean this brush, and then we can go into the paint with our number 0 brush, if I can keep hold of it. Got the dropsies today. Alright, I think that's okay. So next we are going, as I say, back into the Ballor Brown. What if you remember is this colour. And I forgot to do the sleeve here. You can see the different shade now. And this one is much more vibrant and much more orangey yellow than the Talon sand. Oh yeah, and that's the what's done here rather. It's difficult trying to get to some places because of the way the figure's moulded, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Oh yeah, that's that done. Next, for her hair, we are going to use, not that one, don't really want to use that one. Oh, where are you? No, not that one. I'm going to use Baneblade Brown, a pale colour. And I'm just going to get some water on my brush and dip it slightly into the paint, and then there's not much of this, so I'm not putting any on the what do you call it? Not putting any on the palette because there's not much I need. She does seem to have a herb band around her head. Right. What I'm going to do, oh, it's a brightish colour. I think I had a bit too much water on that then. Oh well, if need be, I can come back. The hairband itself, I'm going to use Avalanche Sunset for. Haven't used this paint before, it's brand new. just literally opened it, and we'll go just like that with it. You can see I'm trying to work out whether it is actually a hairband or she just wraps her hair around her head. Oops, there we are. That's that. Next, what we have to cover is the bow, the gloves, the boots, the belt, the sword handle and the ujit there. So what we're going to use first of all is for the gloves and the belts, we're going to be using some rhinox hide. So we'll pop that down on the palette. We don't need a great deal, but we do need a little more than we used for the so I'll pop that around there, get our brush, and we will then go ahead and paint. Brush wasn't damp enough. So I found a little spot of water on the palette. Here will be brushed through it. You don't need to drown your brush in water. I'm even going to do the. No, I'm not. I was trying with the idea of using the this colour for the scabbard for the sword, but I've just changed my mind on that. So we pop this down all the areas that we need to be done, which as I say is all the bits that want to look leather-ish. So the belts, the gloves. I'm not doing the boots in this. I'm going to do the boots in a different colour because I've got the different colours. Might as well use them. A little more water on my brush, and then the paint might spread a little better. Now, yeah, I say they're not the most detailed of minis, so if you do make any slight mistakes, don't beat yourself up over them. Because I certainly won't be. I'm just looking at making them look better on the tabletop than just being the colours that they came in. There we are. Right, next what we want to do is the boots, and those I'm going to do, as I say, in a slightly different colour. I'm going to use Bugman's Glow. That's another ones we definitely wanted to start out with, but we can add to. There's nothing stopping us. The only thing that stops us doing this is our imagination and our willingness to try. I want to clean this brush. So, into the water, into the Bugman's Glow. And then the boots. Oops. So I've got the drops on me today. So I've got the boots done. And that's near enough everything for the base coat. I don't have much left to do. The metal areas I will do after it's been highlighted. Oh, after it's been washed, let's put it that way. And there's the boots. Now what I'm going to do is add some of the Talon sand and the Bugman's Glow together. And a touch of the flesh colour we use for our earth flesh. Not much of this, just to pale it down quite a bit. And that's better. And this we're using on the scabbard. There we go. And I'm going to use it as well on the boot cuffs here. Because you want it a little bit brighter there. You don't want it the same colour as the boots. There we are. That's that done. Next, we'll go with the dryad bark. And that, you may be surprised to know, is the bow and arrow. So we'll go with the dried bark for the arrow and the bow. Now, not all of the bow, obviously, because we have a metal points to the bow, and we have feathers at the back for the flights. It's just the shaft of the bow, or shaft of the arrow rather. all over the bow, shaft of the arrow. That's it. Basically anywhere that you know is going to be wood. Oops, sorry. So, all of the bow and arrow, not all of the bow, shaft of the arrow, and next we can come along and do the feather, which I want to be quite distinctive, so we're going to go with a splash of Wazdaka red. There's not much of the feather. There's just a little bit there that we can just add just to break the colour. There we are. And there is the base coating done as far as we're going anyway. Next we need to look at what we're going to be using for our washes. I'm going to do a couple of different washes on this. So wash number 1 for the flesh is Reichland Flesh Shade. So put that there. I'm going to go all over the hair with this. Oops. Also started getting hiccups now. Awesome. Just what I want during a video. In fact, bigger it, let's go all over the head and the flesh. Oh yeah. That's it, I think. Can't do anything more with that. Okay, so that's the Reichland Flesh Shade done. And now a brighter green than we've used before. We're not using Keelia Green Shade, we're using Biel Tan Green. And this is going to go over the trousers. And the cape. I don't think it's going to do anything at all to the cape. But if it doesn't, we can always come back and do a different colour. It's not, the cape is too dark for that one. But as I say, we'll just have to sometimes just give it a try and see how it works. As I always say, if it works, it was worth it. If it doesn't work, it was worth a try. So There we go. And for the boots, old favourite, Agrax Earthshade. It's getting very near the end of the video now, because this is the last bit I need to do before, in fact I can go over this part as well with that. This is the last bit I can do before I have to stop and wait for the paint to dry. But I'll be coming back in the next video to do all the what can we call it, all the highlighting, the metal areas. There are a couple of metal areas, there's not much. There's the hilt of the sword, the bands on the scabbard, and the point of the bow. Sorry, point of the arrow. I'm going to go over this as well, because there wants to be some form of detail in there that I want to bring out if I can. As the cape hasn't worked, I'm going to go over that as well. Now this will give a very different kind of effect, because it's two shades mixed in together. The thing is, what we have to do, because it's two shades and one hasn't dried before you put the other one on, I'm going to have to make sure that it doesn't pool too much. So let it dry for a little bit, and then we come back, and if it is pooling too much, we can just dab a dry brush into it and soak it up. Like so. Okay, so as I say, that's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. So when we come back, we're going to be carrying on highlighting and finishing Talon off. Speaking of finishing off, Elros, the last time you saw him he was painted. Nothing had happened on the base, but there is now. So we have the base done. It just needs painting, and for that it will just be a case of going over the whole thing of it in black and then dry brushing over with different shades of grey. I'm not saying how many though. So there we are, there's Talon ready for highlighting. With the talk, that cape will come up quite nice, but I've just noticed there's a little area that I have missed. I'm going to delve back into the Agrax Earthshade and go over that area. Won't be a second. These things happen. You know, if you do miss anywhere, you can always go back. That isn't a problem. The problem is when you miss an area and you don't notice it and you don't go back to it. That's when problems can occur. There we are. So, as I say, that's it for now. Until next time, as always, take care, God bless, and bye for now.